You want a proxy civil war? We'll give you one.
That's how it should be. I'm telling you, this whole thing is just wild. It is. These liberals think like this, ladies and gentlemen. They absolutely do. They that crazy and they think just like this. So that's why it's very important that we stand up for what is good, what is right. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up, I want to speak to you guys about TikTok. A lot of people are speaking about TikTok. A lot of baby mamas, a lot of young kids out there speaking about TikTok. Mad that TikTok may be banned from this country. A lot of them are saying they don't care about what anybody's saying. TikTok brings them joy. And you know what I say? Gosh darn it, read a book. Let me go ahead and run this. When it come back, we shall speak about it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share.
Can you say with 100% certainty that TikTok does not use the phone's camera to determine whether the content that elicits a pupil dilation should be amplified by the algorithm? Can you tell me that?
We do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users. We do not.
You don't?
The only face data that you will get, that we collect, is when you use the filters to have, say, sunglasses on your face. We need to know where your eyes are.
Why do you need to know what the eyes are if you're not seeing if they're dilated?
And that data is stored on your local device and deleted after use if you use it for facial. Again, we do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users.
I find that hard to believe. It's our understanding that they're looking at the eyes. How do you determine what age they are then?
We rely on age gating as our key age assurance.
Age
gating, which is when you ask the user what age they are. We have also developed some tools where we look at their public profile to go through the videos that they post to see whether...
Well, that's creepy. Tell me more about that.
It's public. So if you post a video, you choose that video to go public, that's how you get people to see your video. We look at those to see if it matches up the age that you talked about.
The 10-year-old girl participated in a blackout challenge, also known as the choking challenge. TikTok actively pushes video on her feed. Unfortunately, this is one of the many devastating examples of children losing their lives because of content promoted by TikTok.
Congressman, as a father myself, when I hear about the tragic deaths of young people, it's heartbreaking.
Do you find that good faith moderation?
We are very focused on safety, and all these dangerous challenges are removed when we find them. There are more than 150 million Americans who love our platform, and we know we have a responsibility to protect them, which is why I'm making the following commitments to you and to all our users. Number one, we will keep safety, particularly for teenagers, as a top priority for us. Number two, we will firewall protected US data from unwanted foreign access. Number three, TikTok will remain a place for free expression and will not be manipulated by any government. Data is stored here in American soil.
Your TikTok employees that live in China, they must cooperate with Chinese intelligence whenever they are called upon. And if they are called upon, they're bound to secrecy. That would include you. So, Mr. Chu, if the CCP tells ByteDance to turn over all data that TikTok has collected inside the US, even within Project Texas, do they have to do so, according to Chinese law?
Congressman, first, I'm Singaporean.
That's fine, but there are employees of yours and ByteDances in China.
We understand this concern. In my opening statement, we said, we hear these concerns, we didn't try to avoid them or trivialize them. We built something where we take that data and put it out of reach.
The Chinese Communist Party is engaged in psychological warfare through TikTok to deliberately influence U.S. children.
Wow. And I'm going to stop it right there. So TikTok right now is under fire. In my personal opinion, most of the Silicon Valley type of tech companies need to be under fire just like this. China ain't the only one stealing our data. There's a lot of these companies, Facebook, YouTube, all these folks are doing the same thing just like China's doing. What do you think about this here, brother? What do you think about the people complaining who are saying, hey, I don't care if they have my data. YouTube got my data and they're doing the same thing. What do you think?
You know what, Jermaine? This is kind of mixed feelings. Because no, I don't believe the government should be interfering with business. If the people stupidly, ignorantly, dumbly choose to give TikTok and do that stuff, that's their choice. But what is the national interest? The national interest, TikTok got to go. Knowing that this is our adversary, literally, they got one for the U.S. and Western world, and they got one for their mainland China. The one for China upholds moral standards, education, but the one for America is a bunch of foolishness, downright foolishness. So ban it.
That's what I said.
Ban it. And here is the thing. But if they're going to ban it, put a bill that address specifically TikTok. Because this is what the government will do. They'll say a bill to ban TikTok, but like the bill in the Congress and Senate right now, it does other little stuff. Targets who you, if you use Cash App or PayPal or Venmo, the government got to see it. Look what they did for the relief, America's relief. They start taxing people who get $600. The federal government want to know who you are. If somebody right now say, Jermaine, we're going to bless you tonight, we're going to send you $600. The government got to know who that is.
Who the hell is that?
So, yeah, they have to ban TikTok. Yes. If you want it, you have to download it on your phone. Go to Google, go wherever you want to go and download it. But moving forward, these tech platforms going to have to obey the 203 or get kicked off.
Absolutely. I want them banned. I said that I'm not a very popular guy at my home because I want TikTok banned. I want it banned from here to Pakistan. TikTok and a lot of these other video apps like this do nothing but dumb down Americans. It doesn't make them smarter. It doesn't make them nicer. Let me tell you, it dumbs them down. And I want folks to understand that. Instead of people to put down the phone, go out in the world, interact with other people. Do good in that way. These people are sitting there on TikTok and using it as a quote unquote, a stress reliever. They're doing challenges, ding dong challenges, milk crate challenges, all sorts of dumb stuff. There should be a challenge on putting down TikTok. You know, my son, 9 years old, God bless him, he hates TikTok. He's like his dad. You know, every time I hear TikTok, I go crazy. I said, yeah, that's one of those 15-second videos, and then you flip up, and then you hear another 15-second video, then you flip up, and you hear another 15-second video. That sounds crazy. But that's exactly what TikTok is doing. And then on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, it is suggesting things to our young adults and getting them to change their views on a lot of things. So that's why TikTok is dangerous in my eyes. And a lot of these other apps are dangerous as well, even the American ones. The TikTok in China is nothing but educational. And I believe most apps in this country should be educational unless you're over 21. If you're over 21, gosh darn it, you know, that's a different story. But if you're under 21, you shouldn't have access to any type of these type of apps at all. You shouldn't. But it's a different world we're living in. TikTok needs to go for national security reasons, and they need to go and start looking at a lot of these, you know, companies that we have here in the U.S., because a lot of them are partnered up with China as well, doing the same BS. Last words on this here, sir.
You know why we banning TikTok? Because we banned WorldStar.
Yeah,
that's the one that should have been taken down a long time.
Where am I going to find Negroes fighting then? Where am I going to find niggas fighting? Gosh darn it.
I'll be honest. Can they go on and ban WorldStar? Because I swear that's a bastion of ignorance.
Oh, you know it. You know it. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Make sure you share. We got one more topic to speak about. Time is limited. I want to speak about Trump and the horse-faced mammy. Yeah. Stormy gosh darn Daniels. Let me go ahead and run this video clip here. It deals with Trump and our good, I was about to say our good friend. It goes with another guy who I believe is playing a game. He goes by the name of Sean Hannity. Yeah. But besides him playing the game, let me tell you something. It was a very good interview. Let me go ahead and run this. Trump speaks about his indictment. He speaks about something else as well. I want to get you guys' take on it. Here we go. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. Here we go.
Welcome back to Hannity. Now, moments ago, I wrapped up an extensive, wide-ranging interview with former President Donald J. Trump. Here is part 2 of that interview. Take a look. I want to talk about elections. And I agree with you, and you mentioned at your rally last night. It's a position I share. I would like to see Election Day be a national holiday. I would like elections to be paper ballots, making exceptions for the military, the sick, the elderly, those exceptions. They could apply for an absentee ballot. I would like a national holiday, partisan observers in every precinct watching the vote all day long when the polls close, watching the vote counting. At the end of the night, you declare a winner. Okay. It seems Democrats are more involved in voting early. They're more involved in voting by mail. And most states, most people may not know this, have legal ballot harvesting. It's been embraced by the Democrats and not by the Republicans. There are states that are exceptions, like Florida. You know, you have now changed your position. Do you think that Republicans' reluctance and resistance to mail-in ballots and voting early and ballot harvesting like Democrats, has that been a mistake? Was that the mistake in 2022?
I never changed anything. What I did is say mail-in ballots are automatically corrupt. If you have mail-in ballots, you're going to have very dishonest elections. France had mail-in ballots. They had to go away from it. They had an election.
They went back to paper ballots.
They went back to paper ballots, and by 10 o'clock in the evening, everybody was happy. It was announced, and that was it. You want paper ballots. You want same-day voting, ideally, because, you know, we have elections where they sit around for 62 days. Big boxes of ballots are laying all over the floor. You take a look at what happened in Atlanta and some of these other places. But they're sitting all over the floor. They have wheelbarrows carrying ballots. 62 days in some cases. So you have months of elections. And people are saying, what's going on? Boxes are moving from here to there. It's ridiculous. We should have same-day voting. We should have paper ballots. And we should have one other thing, voter ID.
We're not going to, and signature verification and chain of custody controls and partisan observers.
The Democrats don't want it.
But my question is...
By the way, excuse me, the Democratic voters want it. I hear 88%. The people, the Democrat voters want it, but the Democrat politicians don't want.
So for 2024, should Republicans embrace early voting, voting by mail, and embrace the tactics of the Democrats and follow the ballot harvesting laws of their respective states?
Well, they're going to have no choice because we have to do it. But if you were running and you're like a nice, normal person who's doing a wonderful job, who wants to be a congressman
I can't get elected, dog catcher,
no,
Mr. President.
But what I'm saying
you
is...
agree with that?
No,
Thank you.
I don't agree. I think you could get elected anything. And I think you do a fantastic job, by the way. But if you were running for office as a person that's not very well known, I mean, the people know me. I think that's why I'm going up during this hoax that's taking place in New York. And by the way, and with the boxes hoax. I mean, how can you look at me as an example with the boxes hoax and they don't talk about Joe Biden, where he has 1,850 boxes of stuff, where as a senator he had all classified.
What about
as a senator he had all classified
Hillary Clinton and James Comey? No prosecutor would prosecute.
Unbelievable. If you look back to that, that caused a tremendous problem within the FBI. You know, I'm very happy about a couple of things. Actually, I'm happy because we can straighten this out in this country. This country's a mess. We're a mess.
I agree.
Between inflation, the economy, what happened in Afghanistan, it started it because we look so incompetent. Then Putin said, wow, if they're that weak, if they're that incompetent, this is the time to take Ukraine. Don't forget, he would have never done that with me, would have never done it.
I want to get into that, but let's stay focused. I want to stay on this last part of this because I think this is really very critical. I mentioned Comey. No prosecutor would prosecute. Deleted emails, right? 33,000. Devices destroyed with hammers, SIM cards removed. Hillary's dirty dossier, FISA warrants based on that dossier. That was 2016. Now fast forward to 2020. Now you have FBI. They've had Hunter Biden's laptop since December of 2019. We know, thanks to the New York Post and others, the FBI was having weekly meetings with big tech. You referred to it a little bit earlier, warning them about potential misinformation in the days leading up to the 2020 presidential election. Now, the former head of the Twitter site of Integrity, in a case in Missouri, now Senator Eric Schmidt, then Attorney General Eric Schmidt was involved in, specifically said that the FBI was saying the misinformation, it may be about Joe Biden. It may be about Hunter Biden. So now they had this thing since December 2019. They knew your lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, had a copy.
That's right.
So they knew it would likely be public. And with the FBI is now telling big tech that this is likely going to be misinformation. That information then got censored across the board. Okay, explain that to me.
So it's massive election interference. They said they knew it was the whole thing with Russia because they knew by that time that the dossier, the famous dossier, was garbage. It was made up by Hillary Clinton and the Democrats and the DNC. The Democrats made it up. It was all made up. They took this thing and they sent it around to everything, and it was totally made up, and now everybody agrees to that. Somebody should have been prosecuted for that. And you know what? It should be this group that does, because now they have all of the information. Go a step further. They spied on my campaign. Do you remember I said a long time ago, you know, I hear that they spied on my campaign.
Stop this right
and at that
here,
time, because truth is incredible.
I'm looking at the time. We're not going to have enough time to finish it. But let's go ahead and speak about it here. Jamal, they're going after this man for nothing. They absolutely are. The case that they have, they shouldn't be able to even do it because of the statute of limitation. The witness they even have is a known liar, credible liar. My goodness gracious. This is not even a case. And then the attorney brings it from a misdemeanor to a felony, but yet all the other stuff that is going on in the states, he's not even prosecuting. What do you think about what is going on with Trump and this two-tier justice system? And before you go on, I want to go ahead and give somebody a shout out here. Eat all, save none for later. Donated on a super chat on Rumble. Couldn't do it on YouTube. Shout out to Eat all, save none for later. Shout out to you. Should have called you out earlier. It was pointed out to me, but you know, gosh darn it, I have head issues. What can I say? I'm black. Brother, what do you think about this two-tier justice system on our good friend, Mr. Donald J. Trump?
Are we surprised? Are we actually surprised? The same thing they did in 2015, they continuing. The difference is Republicans, instead of now just crying and complaining, are trying to act like they see it, but they're not gonna get caught up in it. This crap could have ended if Republican attorney generals would have started indicting Hunter Biden. Tell me why I said before Oklahoma don't indict Hunter Biden for lying to the court systems about the money he made when he's supposed to be on child support. Tell me why. Tell me why. You lie on a form about child support, supposed to be locked up. Tell me why the local prosecutor who's in that county or that state where Hunter Biden lied on his application to get his firearm. Why did they go get Hunter Biden and turn him in? Lying on the application. Republicans spend too much time trying to be above the fray, trying to show liberals that they're better than that. Yep. We'll show you the proper way to govern. In other words, watch us as we hold our ankles. You don't even have to use Vaseline. And that's what the Republican Party does. We don't fight back. When it comes to President Trump, I'm going to tell you something. So many people have said, I think Donald Trump need to just move on. I need Donald Trump. How can Donald Trump move on when what happened to him in 2020?
It was criminal.
How can he? Think about it. If the Republican Party really, as so many, we want Ron DeSantis. He's a watered down version of Trump. Really? Do we want a watered down version of Trump? Do we really want that? Because here's the thing about a watered down version. It's going to be places where you really want the original flavor, and it's going to be watered down, and things are going to happen. Like I said, for those who are my listeners and like Ron DeSantis, you know for a fact I got no problem with Ron. I disagree with him. It scares me that Jeb Bush and others support him. Jeb Bush,
when you see the
Ryan. But we don't want a watered down version, because the watered down version may not look at the things we find important and address it. What did Ron DeSantis say about the January 6 people who locked up? Will he free them? Oh. Will he pardon them in his first year presidencies? And who to say he just gonna walk in and win? We are acting like Democrats in the 2015 election. All Hillary Clinton had to do was show up. We found out that was wrong. They had to beat him, cheat him, lie, corrupt to beat Donald Trump. And I'm going to tell you something. Think about if someone did you the way they did Donald Trump, and then you had a party that you lifted up and you helped turn around and try to get rid of you and say, we ain't got time to focus on the past. So what you literally saying It's okay, Democrats, what you did. Let's move on. How can you move on to fight Democrats when you can't even address Democrats from the past?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. I wanna go ahead and say that. That is our show for tonight. I absolutely agree with you, brother. I absolutely do. You can't.
I ain't talk over you, man. I ain't talk too long, did I?
No, you didn't talk too long. I gotta be off here in about 2 minutes. I got another engagement.
Okay.
Yeah, but you did fine, brother. I want to thank everybody for coming on in here, hanging out with us. I will be on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Please come and follow us. All right. Send me a message for all the good folks out there. I'm still alive. Facebook has me dead, but a lot of people still sharing all the stuff that I put on my personal stuff. I'm still alive. All right. I want folks to understand that. President Trump, he's not going to quit. When you've been wronged in that type of way, you're not going to quit. And he's an alpha. Alphas don't quit like that. He's just not. So we shall see. It should be a very, very good campaign for him, though. I can tell you that. Very good campaign. If he's doing what I've seen him do this past weekend, let me tell you something. Very good, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is our show. I want to thank everybody for coming on in here, hanging out with us, everybody for hitting that like button, and everybody for donating and sharing. I love you so much. And I'm sure Mr. Jamal does too. Thank you for joining us here for Double Trouble Tuesdays. You guys take care. Have a very good night, and we'll see you.